everyone. Welcome back to Yarn Talks with Lizzy Knits. This is episode 17. My name is Erin. I'm with Lizzy Knits and owner of Three Birds Yarn Studio. All right, let's dive right in. First things today, I got a few things to show you here, and actually wrote a little list today. So, first thing I want to talk about is a sweater. Let's talk about the sweater. I'm so excited. This is literally the first time I'm wearing it. The Sipila Sweater from Caitlin Hunter, Boyland Knitworks. And I think I showed you this in the last episode. I held it up. It was still on the needles, but now off the needles, blocked, all ready, and I'm so excited. But yeah, it hasn't been cold here at all. Well, it's not even October yet, so I'm saving this, and I'm sure I'll wear it a ton this upcoming fall. And I'm going to Rhinebeck, the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, in a couple weeks, or I think it's the third week in October. And I'm definitely bringing this with me, so I think it'll be perfect. But let's look at this. See all the stand up. All the detail on the sleeves, all the color work, the matching color work yoke. I'm super excited. I kind of worked on this all summer. I started it was kind of like my road trip project. So I know I like to bring long projects with me on car rides. But yeah, I started this in like June and I wrapped it up a couple weeks ago. So not too bad. It was my project in between projects, and you know, I never have just one project going on. I'm sure you guys can relate. Or I'm always itching to catch on another project. But yeah, I think right now, I think I have like 3 projects going on right now. Yep, 3. But you know, I like to switch things up. All right, yeah, this is the Sipila sweater. I'm super pleased with how it turned out. This is with sock weight yarn, or fingering weight, and I used Malabrigo Sock. And here, close up. This is 2 colors of natural and PA dress. And I really I wanted the light color to be the main color, or the background color, because I toyed with them, like, do I have the details in white? But I really liked these two, how these look together. I love it. I love it. I love it. But it was a lot of fun. I blocked it. I did a full wet block. And then actually, and I'm getting better about this finally, this is a super wash yarn. So I put it in the dryer for a little bit to kind of snug it up. So guys, let's hear a tidbit. If anyone always heard the term super wash and don't really know what that means, in order for it to maintain its shape, you need to add heat. So that is the key with super wash yarns, and I swear it was years before I learned that. Like, if you ever knit with a super wash yarn and then shawl, whatever, anything, and then you go to block it and you're like, why is it so big? Why is it so big? Like, if this happens, this is a real problem. Put it in the dryer for like 5 minutes. And I put mine on or 5 or 10 minutes, but I always put mine on low heat, and it just needs a little refresher. So although I did wet block this whole thing, which you want to anyways, because this color work was this color work, it comes out kind of like wobbly and bumpy, and the color work is not perfect when it's fresh off the needles. It needs a little help with either steam or water. So now it's all nice and smooth, especially these little polka dot areas where there were a lot of floats. It was kind of I needed to block it because it was kind of crinkly, like the fabric at the end. So I wet blocked it, and I gotta say, I had it on the blocking mat. So my husband's like, is that gonna fit you? I'm like, it just, because it was wet and it bloomed the yarn, but then, it dries a little bit, shrunk up. It was still a little on the big side. So I threw it in the dryer for just a little bit. So tidbit about superwash yarns. Definitely, if you're ever just scratching your head and did not know what superwash means, it means you can put it in the dryer, and you should put it in the dryer because that's how it bounces back to its original shape. So I hope that helps. All right. So anyways, I'm super excited about this. It's lightweight, fingering weight yarn. I'm very excited. Yeah. And I don't know, just I'm excited. I keep saying excited. Anyways, but I feel it's very satisfying to like see it all completed and I can actually wear it. And I don't know, I haven't made a ton of sweaters in the past. I usually try to make 1 or 2 a year, and this was a biggie just because it was time consuming. And it was nice to get, like I finished the yoke and then it's so much stuck in that stitch. So like that's an easy breezy stitch. Don't have to count anymore. So I loved it, like, okay, the chart's done until you get to the sleeves, but at least it was a nice break until I have to tackle the sleeves again. But I really love these details. Okay, last thing, Sipila Sweater from Boyland Knitworks, and the designer is Caitlin Hunter. She writes amazing patterns, and I will definitely be making more of her designs. She's so talented. All right, as long as we're on the topic of sweaters, I have another one in the works, okay, maybe I can finish within 3 weeks so I can take it to New York. We'll see. Oh, awesome. Like it's my handy dandy. I love Carhartt, by the way. That's my knitting bag. I have everything in here. I have like a bag of tools, bags of notions, clipboard for my patterns. Like this is my knitting like on the go toolkit. All right, this pattern is called New Horizons Pullover by my good friend Courtney Flynn at Flynn Knit. She's like my best friend, and also I'll be going to New York with Courtney. She's also my travel buddy, and we do all the fun yarn and knitting things. All right, I'm trying to find the cover page. I'll show you the whole pattern. All right, well here's Courtney's. Here, New Horizons by Flynn Knit, Courtney Flynn, and here is the sweater. So it's a colorwork yoke, same concept, top down, colorwork yoke, split for the sleeves, all that good stuff. And then she doesn't show in this picture, but she has matching colorwork detail on the bottom hem of the sleeves. So I'll get to that. Here we go. Let me show you my one that I'm working on, but first let me put this back in order because this will drive me nuts. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. Done, and I am making mine in earthy green. I picked forest green, olive. It's an olivey forest green for my main color, and then some more earthy tones for my colorwork design. So here's mine. I'll show you the front. You can see, and I did not do a seamless, what's that called? Seamless jog, not jogs. When you get end of the round, start a new round, so you can kind of tell where my pattern skips a bit. I know there's tips and tricks to avoid that, but I did not do that for this, but I'm okay with it. Here we go. So here's the yoke here, and I did a fit check the other day where, you know, bust, shoulders were all spot on. I did a size 4, and I think Courtney wrote this, it's either 8 or 10 sizes, and it's wonderful because it's a wide range of sizes and very adaptable. So love it, love it, love it. So here we go. I have not done the sleeves yet. I'm just gonna keep holding it. So I'm supposed to knit the body for 12 inches from the underarm. I think I might have like 1 or 2 more inches to go, but then there's gonna be a bottom hem. I'm gonna measure, and I'm super tall, so I'll probably add an inch or something, but I wanna make sure that I'm not knitting myself a crop top. I've talked about this before. Crop tops are so cute. I don't like them on me, but I'm not comfortable in them. And I think because I'm tall too, I'm like, I just like, I don't want clothes to look like they're too small on me. So I don't want a crop top, so I'll add a little length, and then I'll do the same to the arms and see if I need a little adjustment on the sleeves too. But here we go. I love it, love it, love it. I love this little zigzag detail. The chart was very easy to follow. And now it's kind of, like I said, I'm getting the plain stockinette body portion. So like, I'm just sitting and knitting at night while I watch TV. And it's kind of a fun, and actually baseball and softball season have started for my younger two. So this has been my sidelines project because I don't need to look at the pattern or whatever. It's great for, you know, just leisurely knitting. And this is why I have more than one project going on at once. Sometimes I need an easy knitting. Sometimes I need to really pay attention. Sometimes I need a quick knit, or you know, so then I end up having, you know what I say, I have like 3 going on right now. I try to cap it at 5 though, because then I'll never finish anything. Okay, this is the new Howizons pullover. And I'll probably do a fit check post on Instagram, probably once I finish the length. I do want to talk about the yarn. I only have the little green ones here, and I'm almost done. I thought I was gonna finish this last night, but then my hands got too tired. My brain got tired. I just wanted to watch TV. So here, this is it's a worsted weight sweater. This is Ella Rae Classic, and this comes in solids and heather colors. But this is 100% wool, and it's dense. It feels like a traditional wool, which I love, because I work with a lot of merino wool, but this is like the real warm stuff. Like, not that merino wool is not warm, but like it's a different density, different composition, and it just has a different texture. So I really like this. And it's called the Ella Rae Classic. So Ella Rae has a lot of different yarns. There's Ella Rae Chunky, Superwash. I actually have a bunch in the shop if you ever want to browse. But the Ella Rae Classic is their standard worsted yarn. And I'm a big fan. So that's that. Worsted weight. I'm just plugging away at the sweater. So the new Howizons pullover. Okay. And what I do want to show you, did you notice these? Okay, and these are new for me because I really want to talk about them because I've never used these before, and I ordered them over the summer. Per Courtney's recommendation, we were in Colorado. I brought this sweater with me on our Denver trip, and we went to Our Maker Life Live, which is super duper fun. Anyways, she was working on one of these on her own, and I was working on my sweater, so I had a piece of scrap yarn to hold the sleeves, which I've always done. And she had these really cool spongy tube cord things. Like, you gotta tell me about these. Like, why don't I have these? I want them. I don't even know what they are, but I want them. So what they're, what are the official names for them? They're crafting cord, or I don't know the official name. Let's see. The original, just cords. Okay, I got mine, and I think there's a bunch of different places you can get these. I got mine from the Knitting Barber. Actually, it's the company, sorry if that's blurry. The Knitting Barber makes these, and I got mine through webs.com. And it comes with, it's strictly for knitting sweaters. It comes with 2 short cords, and here's 1 long one. So this would be for the body. And I did this the other day. I put this in real quick for my stitches so I could try the sweater on. It's awesome because they're stretchy. So they're rubbery and they're a tube. I'm gonna stand up and show you a little more. They're hollow. Where's my, that might help, that might not help. They're squishy, they're rubbery, and what you do, the tube, it goes onto, am I dropping stitches on here? Pardon me for 1 second. I am dropping stitches, of course I am, because I did not use a keeper yarn needle stoppers. I swear, I can't remember the names of anything today. I'm struggling. Okay, so for instance, you would put this right on the tip of your needle like so, okay? And then as you, it's a little frightening at first, then as you take your circular needles out of your project, it pulls the cord through your live stitches. So then when all the stitches are off your needles and now the cord is in place, you can pop that end of the cord off the tip of your needle, and now it's a placeholder. And it's kind of stretchy. It worked well for when I was doing a fit check on on the body of my sweater. It was awesome, and like it's quick and easy. You literally just pull. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes like putting the stitches one by one, you know, especially using a scrap piece of yarn, which I've done forever because I didn't know about these, but but this is such a breeze, and it just acts as a placeholder. And also you'll see like my sleeve stitches are being held. I haven't even tied this off or anything. It stays put. It doesn't slide around. It doesn't go anywhere. I haven't had a single problem with this. If anything, I'm losing stitches because I don't put stitch stoppers on my needles. This is my main problem. But super handy crafting cord, knitting cords, I'm sure. But if you Google the Knitting Barber, they have these little sets ready to go. And yeah, webs.com is where I bought mine. They come in 3 sizes and a lot of like bright colors. Green is my favorite color, so obviously I'm gonna get green, but I go with my green sweater. But yeah, super handy. And that's it on the new Howizons pullover. I'm just gonna keep on working on this, and hopefully next time I talk about this sweater, it'll be done and you'll see me wearing it. Cross my fingers. But I am proud of myself that I finished this one. I've never made a sock weight sweater before, so I knew I was kind of like, that was a bold choice. Like, I know I can do it, but do I have the time to commit to it? And I did. I was proud of myself. I stayed focused, and I didn't like put it away and forget about it, which that never happens. All right, so that new Howizons pullover. Okay, moving along. Oh my God, I wrote this morning, so I'm like, okay, this afternoon, do the podcast. Let's hope that I put out all the supplies that I need that coincide with this list. All right, next one. I published a pattern this Monday, and I showed you this last time. I didn't tell you the name. It's the Hum Beanie, and it was the one, if you watched last episodes where I was talking about doing, and I'm pretty sure I showed you this hat, like this exact one. This was like my first prototype, and then I was telling you, or maybe I showed you the super bulky. I don't know. But I know I was talking about possibly doing this in multiple weights. Well, I did it in 3 weights, and I love how it turned out. Like, I made them, it's just all you had to do, tweak the cast on, and this is a pattern set multiples of 5, so you can tweak the cast on as long as it's multiples of 5, and then the repeats, you just add a little more repeats, and that's all there is to it. So with this pattern, I first started with super bulky, and if you're ever interested in writing patterns, or you are a pattern designer and you want to try the multiple weight thing, if you can write it in super bulky, you can write it in the lower weights too. Do not write it in worsted and then try to make a super bulky out of it. This is a one-way street, because you can always, it's just much easier that if you can make it work on super bulky, because in my opinion, those are the hardest, because your canvas you can only work with so many stitches. You're so many stitches high, wide, but it's a lot more flexible with the lighter weight yarn. So that's what I did. I started with super bulky, and then all right, well, let's try it in bulky. And then I had to tweak a little things, it ended up, okay, so bulky, I used the same repeats as the super bulky pattern. And then in the end, it turned out I redid it and took 2 rows out of the brim, because I wanted, for the 3 weights, I wanted the dimensions to be the same. I'm not like, here's a slouchy hat, and then this one's like super fitted. Like, no, it's supposed to be. And FYI, these hats do have a little bit of a slouch, but you can still make all of them with 1 skein yarn. Generally, if it's the folded brims that make you go into 2 skeins of yarn. Anyways, but here, this is standard flat brim. So yeah, I was saying so the super bulky and the bulky have the same amount of repeats, but then I encountered different problems when I was making the worsted. I was tweaking it a little bit, and it turns out how do I explain this? The crown came out a little weird, because I don't know, let me talk for a minute. when you're decreasing a crown, you can do like a slow decrease where it's kind of like perfectly shaped to the top. But if you like and then usually that is like you'll have a decrease round, then a straight knit round, or 2 straight rounds. Or you can do like a quick decrease where it's kind of bunched at the top. You might know what I mean, where like there's at the top of the hat, there's like some folds and it's puckering a little bit. I call that like a quick decrease, or it's, I don't know, a little, anyways, it's just different styles, There's no right or wrong way to decrease a hat, just different styles. But when I did the same decreases as the bulky and super bulky, this one it turns out that was kind of a quick decrease, but it didn't translate well to the worsted weight where there were more stitches for the circumference. So it kind of like crinkled it up, and like I said, if that's the style you're going for, fine. But it looked different than the other 2 hats, so I kind of reworked. The worsted weight wasn't super easy to translate over. I just had to cut it back a little bit and rework for a slower decrease. So if you're looking at the pattern, the worsted weight directions for decrease is a whole different thing. It still keeps the same design of the pattern, but I had to taper it in slower so for continuity, so it looks like the slow decrease of like the bulky. But yeah, for the first time I did it, it was like crunch, crunch, crunch. Like it didn't look anything like this one. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to fix. So I ended up on the final repeat of the pattern set. I only did it's an 8-stitch set. So it's like, here, do the first 4 rounds of another repeat, and then we go into the decreases. But like I said, design is still the same. It still carries the little twists all the way to the top. Yeah, so I actually ended up making quite a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 2 more in the office. So I had fun with this. It's actually really easy to memorize the pattern set. This one, I think I posted this to Instagram this morning. This is the bulky weight, and this is Juniper Moon La Pampa. That's a fun yarn. I have that in the shop. Here, I'll go through the bulky weights. Juniper Moon, this is Malabrigo Chunky. This is Wool Nagang Al Pacino Merino. This is a blend of merino wool and alpaca. So if you haven't tried Wool Nagang Al Pacino Merino, I highly recommend it. It's like probably one of the softest ones out of the group here. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna keep this one for me. I also did, this is Franca Manasa Uruguay, and I suggested this for the bulky weight because it does kind of match the tension, and you get the same gauge as you did with like the Malabrigo Chunky and the Wool Nagang. I know some people call it light super bulky, or my patterns, I don't usually use light super bulky just because maybe this is controversial, but like it's not like an official yarn category, so I try to work it in either to bulky or super bulky when I can. Kind of, but that's just me. There's preferences for all and how you categorize yarn. Okay, so here's super bulky, and these are in Rasta. This one's looking a little dark, but this is Arakita. That's a really good one. And then I made 2 worsteds. I finished this one yesterday. And I think it looks kind of cute without the pom too. So this is all Malabrigo worsted. Try not to knock my headphones out, AirPods. Let's see here. So it's got like a little bit of a slouch. I don't know. I think I like it pomless for the lightweight. Let's see. And then here, this is a Lampampa. Yeah, it slouches a little bit, so which is kind of nice because with the slouch, I think it looks good without a pom too. I didn't style my hair correctly. I'm not used to wearing hats. Honestly, probably like almost, it'll be October on Sunday. Watch, come Monday, it'll be like 40 degrees. I think it's gonna be 80 this weekend, but that doesn't mean anything. It can be 80 to 40. It's Chicago. We have 0 expectations. Nothing surprises us. All right. This is the Hum Beanie. 3 yarn weights, Hum Beanie. It's the pattern's on Ravelry, Etsy. It's at threebirdsyarnstudio.com, and then you can shop all the suggested yarns at Three Birds too. I have all this in stock, and poms. These are so fun. But yeah, also poms. We've been making a ton of poms over here. So my family makes poms with me, and we have this whole operation, and we've been stocking up on a ton for this upcoming fall and winter. So check it out if you need some little accessories for your hats. Okay. Oh, last thing about the Hum Beanie. I had no idea, and then I'll move on. I had no idea what to name it, but I was thinking something like hummingbirds. I think this looked like little hummingbird wings. There's not much more to the explanation, but I was Googling, I was trying to find possible pattern names, and hummingbird was taken, hummingbird beanie, hummingbird. I tried all these like little naturey, like hum, like, and then I typed that in on a whim, like, is there a Hum Beanie already? It's like, no results sound. I'm like, done, the Hum Beanie, it is decided. But this time of year, I was literally, I have a hummingbird feeder outside the window in my office, and they've been coming and going and feeding all day long, and like, I'm kind of obsessed with them. I think next year I should not put the hummingbird feeder outside my office window because it's so distracting, but they're so cute and I love them. I'll still put it, but it's seriously distracting because I'm always like glancing over at it. I'm like, are there hummingbirds? Like, no, I am the computer here. I don't need more distractions in my life. Hummingbirds outside my window. But they're so cute, but I liked it. And I'm gonna be sad when they go away soon, or actually, I should Google. I don't know where they go. If any of you guys know more about hummingbirds than I do they fly south for the winter? I assume they do. I don't know where they go. Or like, I can't imagine they stay here. Daisy. Sorry, my dog just woke up. Sorry. What's she doing? She sleeps under the couch in our family rooms over there. And we got a new couch and it's a little higher, and she crawls under there and just her tail and her back feet stick out, and she thinks she's hiding. Like, we can see you. She just like crawled out, shook really much, she like did a big shake, and then crawled back in. She's so quirky. She's so funny. All right, let's move on. Get through the list before my kids come home. Oh, okay, I have 2 to 3 more things to show you. Let me take some water quick. Excuse me. The next thing, I want to show you a tutorial. I have this little work in progress on my needles. I've been working on this swatch. I want to share with you, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. Here is my favorite bind off. Okay, this is called the Knit 2 Together TBL. You're knitting 2 together through the back loop. And here this is the bind off. And also I like this too, because when you're knitting in the round, it sits up very straight, and it just has a nice little finish edge to it. And then on the top, you get the little braid. And then also when you block things too, it lays flat. But this is just a very clean, because sometimes, I don't know, like they're too far over or they're too bulky, but I love this bind off. I use this for all my shawls. I did it for all the hems on these sweaters, anything scarves, but the Knit 2 Together TBL. So I have one I'm working on my needles. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna flip the camera, hold on. Okay, so here's my little working swatch, and we're gonna do, I made this up. This is the Knit 2 Together TBL. And sorry if it's a little shadowy. It is so gloomy today. It is so gloomy. But we're trying. Okay, Knit 2 Together TBL. So first up, Knit 2 Together TBL through the back loop. So right needle in through the back. Okay, Knit 2 Together. All right, now you have one stitch on the right needle, but you just put it back. This is so easy. It's very simple. Okay, and knit through 2 TBL again. Okay, put the stitch back. Knit 2 TBL. Put it back on the left needle. Knit 2 TBL. Okay, and then pick up the pace a little bit more. Okay, I don't need to do this to the end. So there you go. It gets this nice little clean edge on the top. And then actually, here, bear with me a sec. I'll show you. I only have a couple more. Okay. You get to the end, it was just the last, but now you don't have any stitches on this left needle. And you would just close off the end of your work as normal, snip this, pull the tail tight through here. But obviously it wouldn't still be attached to the ball. Okay, that's it. Knit 2 together, TBL. Very clean. It gives a little bit, see? I have had this question a lot, like, is this a stretchy bind off? I would call this a medium stretch, where it gives just enough, because you don't want like a tight bind off where it's like puckering, but it gives enough where it's a nice clean edge, but I would not classify it as a stretchy bind off. All right. Oh, and you know, here, let me move my camera back around. Okay, trying to adjust a little bit. Where was I at? I need to trim this bird of paradise. It's kind of getting out of control. But what I did want to say about the hem, and I think I did tell you that's how I bound off the bottom of the sweater. I was wrong about that because it was ribbing. I bound off in pattern. I didn't use this, so my mistake. Yeah, if you're ribbing, don't use this for ribbing. If it's ribbing, bind off in pattern. The sun just came out. I haven't seen the sun all day. It's too bright. I haven't seen the sun all week. All right, hold on. That's like all shadowy. All right, so that's a K2 TBL, K2 together TBL bind off. And if you ever want to see that again, I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel too. So just scroll past this video. You'll find it up there. All right. I have 2 things. One of them is super duper quick. The other one hopefully will be quicker. There's new poms in the shop. I know I touched in about poms a little while ago, but I want to show this one in person. And I should probably add like videos to my pom listings. This one has glitter. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. This is Tinsel. And I only had these at the holidays last year, but I'm bringing them back for more permanent. It's just, I don't order this for very often. It comes from Australia. So it's just when I get it in stock, but I've been stocking up for this season. Look at it. It's called Tinsel. There's Tinsel. It matches. I have some tinsel in my hair. My daughter and I did. It matches. Yeah, I just want to show you that one. This one's super fun. And it's glittery. Last year we had one called Cheer, and it was gold. It was like a tan with gold tinsel, and they discontinued that one. I'm so sorry. If you're one of my customers that like was waiting for that one, I was so sad when I went to reorder and they only have silver, which I love the silver, but I wanted both, and they don't have the gold anymore. So sad. So I'm so sorry about that, but we still have the silver. All right, Tinsel, that's all on the shop. And for poms, I don't do made to order. It's all ready to ship. So like if it's sold out, I will work on making more and keep checking back. But all the poms are here, physically here. I don't make them so after you order. So also that means like super quick turnaround time. And with orders, I always ship like next day, max 2 days, or like sometimes Friday. If you order Friday night, like it might not go out till Monday, but I do make 5 days a week, and most Saturdays I'll run to the post office when I'm out and about. But I am frequently going to the post office. It's very close to my house. So just so you know, if you order from the shop, your yarn, poms, and I do the best I can, and usually a really quick turnaround. So just FYI. Okay, final thing I want to talk about. This is another hat that I wrote last week. So what sparked this was, if you're following on Instagram with Three Birds Yarn Studio, I posted these Malabrigo worsted skeins because these are all new colors to the shop. I posted them because I was taking photos of them, and I just happened, these four were like laying next to each other. Like, okay, hold on. These colors look so cool together. I love it. And this Very Very is very bright, and I'm obsessed with it with the Jacinto, which one's this one? Verde Adriana and Simple Taupe. I think I got that right. They're new colors. I haven't memorized them yet, but there they are. I just thought these were so fun together. So I think I posted that maybe like 2 weeks ago. So then last week I was feeling creative. So you know what? I think I was sitting on the computer for a while. Like, you know what? I want to sketch something, and all right, here's what I came up with. And it's a folded brim beanie. I do have a couple of these already, like the holidays, and like, you know what? I like them. They're fun to make. Here we go. Here's what I got. So, I don't really like it. Like, I'm not loving this. I love the colors, but overall, I don't love it. I don't know. There's a few things going on here. And I was a little disappointed because, like, oh, well, I had such high hopes for these colors. So it's not a total bust, but I'm not keeping it this way. And then apparently I was working late a couple nights ago. I was staring at it. I wrote myself a note. I came out this morning, like, with a Post-it stuck to the hat. Like, don't bring the design up so high, slower increase, K2 together, K2 together. All right, these are my notes telling me to shorten the design, so then I'll have more solid color. This green, I carried it up too high. Also, going back to the points that we were talking about earlier with like the worsted weight crowns, this is a quick decrease. Can you see this here? This is a good example. This is a quick decrease. You see how it's puckering? Like, you can tell it's not a smooth decrease, and that's fine. This is a style, but and these quick decreases, usually you stick a pom on it. You literally can never tell. Kind of like some of my holiday knits, it's a quick decrease. It puckers, but when you're wearing it, the stitches are evenly distributed, and it's fine. Like I said, just different styles. But this time, I think I want to do a slower decrease. So this one was a knit two together, a decrease round, and then a round in between each, like, decrease round where it's just straight knitting. That kind of spreads it out. This time I'm going to do a decrease round, 2 straight knitting rounds, then another decrease round, and slower progress towards crown. So handy dandy note. Thank you, Erin, because I have to write things down because I'm usually doing like a whole bunch when I'm sitting at my desk. I'm like, okay, do that. I have to write things down because I'll come back to it later. Otherwise I won't come back to it later. I will move on and forget. So anyways, back to this design. I sketched this a lot. Sorry, that my husband got home. What time is it? Losing my train of thoughts. Kids will get home in 25 minutes. Okay, I got time. I won't take 25 minutes. So this, I think the design's kind of cool. I wanted like this geometric type thing, but it is always a struggle of when you switch colors. So I'm gonna do a close up. If you have made my previous Fair Isle, like this style hat before, the little girl is Spooky Night or Susie Snowflake, there's the Love You, the Valentine's one. Generally, I only do 3 colors. And then, so it's like 3 colors. The brim is 1, and then just 2 colors here. Usually like a white for the background. It makes the contrasting color pop. All right, now we got 3 colors here. this is a challenge, and I wanted to avoid knitting with 3 colors per round. Like, you know, it's nice Fair Isle or color work. 2 colors is easy. We got it. When you add that 3rd color in, and this is the thing. I mean, I've done it in patterns, but like I was really trying to avoid that just because it's a quick hat. It'll make the knitting go faster. But for this one, this version that I wrote, you can tell the transition. I have 3 colors per round, so like it just makes you go a little slower. It's not my favorite. I say I'm not opposed to it, but I was trying to avoid it. And this time I'm like, you know what? We'll give it a go. And it would have been fine, I think, if I like loved this design and like, oh, it looks amazing, so cool. I'm like, all right, there's 3 rows where you have to use 3 colors, okay, whatever. But like, I'm just not feeling it overall. So I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I should just get rid of the green. No, I have a different plan. So this morning, sorry, I've spent so much time thinking about this hat and looking at this hat and resketching this hat. And like, it was sitting on my desk for a week. So like, you know what? Yeah, I made this last week. Like, I can't look at it for a little while. I think that's why I put the note. Like, when we come back to it, I'll have like a fresh perspective. So this morning I wrote a new chart. Here we go. You can see I have a few pencil, like this was fun. I break out like the markers, and I tweaked it a bunch. So instead, I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna knit it up and see how it goes. And I still have like the geometric thing going on, these little like arrow looking things. I like the little like teardrop. I think I squared those are end up going to be a blank space. And with these patterns, here, you can steal my work now. With these patterns, especially with the rule of thumb, you don't want to carry a float more than 1 inch. But so when I'm doing these worsted weight ones, a span of 5 stitches is my max. So I have a couple where you knit 5 and we'll carry it in the back, but I don't want to go to 6 because then the floats start getting too long. So that's kind of my rule of thumb here. And that's sometimes like, it's challenging. It's like, I'll make it and be like, oh my gosh, there's like a run of like 8 stitches here. I'm like, okay, that's too far. And then I got to start writing into the pattern how to catch your floats and all that. Like, I'm just trying to make it easy. I just want to make it easy. I don't want to have to it's just a hat. I want you to make it quick, and I don't want you to have to work with 3 colors per round or have to worry about catching your floats. But you know, different, it just depends on the design. But I was just trying to make them a little more user-friendly, especially then I feel like I can suggest this is a beginner color work project. It's like, you want a beginner and be like, okay, you got 3 colors this round. You're like, I only have 2 hands. No. That's a challenge. Well, and I hold both when I do color work, I hold both my yarns in my left hand. So I can like, and I can essentially, when we throw a 3rd one in, I'm at a loss. Like, I'm very slow, but like, like it's so unnatural to me. But yeah, that's that's how I view how I do my stranded color work patterns. So here we go. There's a fun chart. I'll put it in, because I have a program that generates in like the JPEG that I can input into the pattern. So I'll input this one. And this is actually, it's a 10 stitch combo. See, like I marked them here. 10, that's actually, you'll just see one of these sections on the pattern, but I drew it out because I wanted to see it as a whole. That's it. I gotta tweak these little, I think I had to adjust it because there was somewhere, I had to tweak it somewhere because there was a long run of the background color. But yeah, we'll see. Sorry, maybe I should, now that I'm looking at these bottom triangles, maybe I should take it out a bit. I could do that. Make those more bold. The thing is, like, you're gonna see You're gonna see a lot of the taupe in the background. The other thing I might end up doing is swap out taupe. What do you think? And use a cream instead. Use like this color. Man, the more I look at this, like the more I want to keep changing things. I start to like cut myself off. Sometimes we're like, Erin, like just put it away. It's fine. It's fine. Be like, no, I want to keep changing it. We're like, don't change it. Like just quit. Like move on. All right. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. So, oh, and I have a name for this one. I wanted to name it the Technicolor beanie. Like it seemed very colorful and awesome. And so I got the name locked down, which that's a first for me. I have the name but no pattern. You know, I like to write like nameless patterns. Like it'll literally be the day before I'm sending this out for testing and be like, I don't have a name for it. I'm just start numbering my, that's what my husband says, like just number them. Like that's way too confusing. All right, guys. That's it for today. I am gonna change out of this sweater because I have my windows up right now. It's not fall weather yet. So I'm gonna change. I'm gonna feel a little warm. But that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the Hum Beanie pattern. It's all available. One more thing, if you're watching it in the next couple of days, the Big Waves Beanie pattern is still the free pattern of the month in the yarn shop, 3birdsyarnstudio.com. So if you buy any skein of super bulky yarn, you automatically get the pattern. And then on the home page on the website, it tells you like, here, pattern of the month, and then all the promo details and stuff. But then coming this weekend, I will have a new pattern of the month. Those always sneak up, and I wish I could tell you on the sly like what it's going to be, but I haven't picked it yet, so cool. I'll do it tomorrow. All right, friends. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'll touch back in soon. All right, bye.